Hey, what's up, y'all? Sarah here. So in this video, I'm going to talk about hedge fund manager compensation. How much do hedge fund managers get paid? So the first thing I want to say about this is there's a lot of data that can kind of be like all over the place about this. Like there's data from the BLS that evaluates compensation for financial managers. But I feel like this is not really that accurate. The category itself seems to be fairly poorly defined. And the whole thing is kind of like me trying to, and I've never been in the military, trying to assess like how much people in the military make. Like I know how much a cadet would make in the boot camp, but I don't know how to assess like the different ranks. And I would have no idea one rank from the next. I'd be totally lost about it. And so I feel like that's kind of the same thing with a few of these sources. I will cite the sources below, but like, for example, I was reading an article from Pay Scale. I'll cite that below as well. I don't know how accurate that was either. A few that I thought were really accurate was I was reading an article on Investopedia talking about what the top hedge fund managers make. And I mean, it looks like Ray Dalio makes like 610 million in fees a year, and Ken Griffin of Citadel makes like 360 million in fee income. This is in the year 2018. Again, the article is going to be linked below. So these are the hedge fund managers that are at the top. Now, but what about the average hedge fund manager? So there was an article on Institutional Investor that I thought seemed to be pretty adept. And the article said that basically hedge fund managers, like not an analyst, but the person that actually manages the money and makes the investment decisions for the hedge fund, gets about 346,000 in base pay, and then gets like probably about $1 million more in total in bonuses and commissions and stuff. So that comes in at about 1.3 million in total comp. Now, that's for the person that's in charge. Okay. So it could be like the founder, the person running the portfolio. Hedge fund analysts. So the analyst, a little bit different. The average base pay and I think it was 2018 was this Institutional Investor article. I mean, it would have been probably for the year 2017, I believe, because this was written in 2018. No, actually, okay, this is for 2018. But in 2018, the average base for a hedge fund analyst was 175,000, and then the total comp came in at about 678,000. So you're looking at like maybe 175 and then 400, like whatever, 500 more than that, 500,000 more than that to come in. Now, I don't know how accurate that is because I knew a lot of hedge fund analysts back in the day when I was working in investment management. And I don't know if a lot of them were taking home quite that much, but I do think that the base amount is pretty accurate from what I remember. And this was 10 years ago about. I do remember a lot of the hedge fund analysts making, I would say like between 150 and 200 as a base. And then, yeah, the bonus was just totally discretionary and was decided upon by the company that you were working for. Now, having said that, that is for a hedge fund analyst. That is a full analyst. That is not the person that comes in and is like a research assistant or something like that. Like if you're like a junior analyst, then I think that those base salaries, like at the very entry level, I think those tend to come in at about 80,000 or so, like between maybe 80, maybe 100, and then total comp of like maybe 100 to 150. So those are the three levels of hedge fund compensation. I would say like 80,000 to as like 80,000 base coming in at 100, 150, like 175 base. This article says like maybe like realistic, I would say like 150 to 200 as a base coming in. Like what I recollect was like between maybe 300 and 400 for a full analyst. And then for the portfolio manager, right, like 300,000 total or whatever. And then they make probably $1 million more than that, but who even knows? So you can see like Ray Dalio of Bridgewater is obviously like making $600 million a year. So it can go up from there. I think what happens is these hedge funds are very uneven. They're very bifurcated. So a lot of the bigger, more successful hedge funds get all the business from the institutional investors, such like the pension funds, like CalPERS, the endowments, et cetera, because these are like thought of as like the safer funds. So, and there's a lot of hedge funds that just like blow up or don't make it. And the ones that do make it, I think, are pretty much living large, because once you get to be one of those like popular choices with the institutional investors, they just are all going to put their money there because they figure, well, I'm never going to get fired for picking Bridgewater Associates or whatever. It's kind of like, like how can I go wrong with a Dell, computer? It's kind of like that. You become the household name in the space. Another thing to keep in mind is that within hedge funds, the pay can be, within the hedge fund sphere, the pay can be very uneven as well. Like the more successful hedge funds, like smaller hedge funds can be like a compensation can be like not that much different almost from even a buy side shop, right? Whereas the larger ones, the larger you get, I think the payouts just get bigger and bigger. Now, even within the hedge fund, pay can be very uneven. Like, I knew people that worked at hedge funds and they used to say that they were really slaving away and doing all of the really hard work. And then there were people that were higher up that just were making like multiples more than them. And that is just kind of, I think, a symptom of working in the hedge fund industry. But yes, it's definitely not like even, and everything is calculated here and there. But see, that's a good thing that actually can work very much in your favor if you are looking to get compensated more. Because like, let's say you're working in a hedge fund, you're not happy with your pay. Just know that, yes, while the base does tend to be whatever it is, hedge funds are obviously the more successful ones, like not really that strapped for cash, I would say. So the good thing is if you can show your performance and you can create more value for the company and grow and expand and take on more responsibility and do more and enable them to do better with their clients, if you can find creative ways to do that, or just create a better widget, so to speak, or do the job more efficiently, or get better stock calls on the stocks, or make better investment decisions, you can find a way to do that somehow. The rewards definitely are there because of all of this, like, these are cash cows, a lot of them, right? These are very lean organizations. They're very efficient. And one thing I will say about the hedge funds is that they're so exacting that I really do think that in order to stay, that's how they made it in this business. And if you are a valuable player, I think they are going to reward you. But the question is, how do you become that valuable player? Well, I actually have some videos. I'm assuming a lot of you are watching this because you want to work at a hedge fund. Just for the record, I never worked at a hedge fund. I worked at Lehman Brothers and worked on the buy side, but I was never a hedge fund analyst. I had interactions with the industry, but I never did that. Okay. So, but I will tell you that from my past endeavors, I do have sample models. I have, videos that you can watch all within this playlist. So I hope that you'll stay here on my channel and check out my equity research or portfolio management playlists. And, there certainly is a lot there. So I hope that you'll stay with me and subscribe. Thanks for watching.